Red 2 standing by, all four lit and in the green. Welcome back to Mario Party 2 for an expanded version of the AI Festival. This is my channel's second anniversary, so we're having a bit of fun. It's 50 turns of stupidity, of shambolic gameplay, of moronic AI as we head out... Mysteryland will probably be a bit dull in all fairness, but you know what, I'm actually going to go with Mysteryland just because. There could be all sorts of random surprises with hidden blocks and things like that. Mysteryland also has a heavy reliance on luck to get around, so basically I'm just relying on the AI having to fluke something that drastically changes the game. So, I am placing my wager on Yoshi, as usual. We will include Mario, because it's his party, Wario, and DK, who usually aren't that bright. Let's set them there, and we are doing a 50-turn fiasco, as I said. So this will give me a bit of an opportunity to talk about a few things. We'll hopefully have some interesting conversations along the way, because I think that's sort of what I'm planning to do with my overall style. Because I've been sitting back and just pondering, what do I want to do? How do I want to progress things further? I'd like to push things forward a little bit more. You know, start to develop. Because I don't really have a signature style per se. I don't really have anything that defines me. I've got some little things along the way. I will be seeing... I'll be controlling this bit, but I'll be switching over to the AI at the start of my turn. Or as soon as possible, basically. But I'm just trying to find something that defines me. Oh well, second, that's not bad. So, as well as the usual comments on the AI being a complete idiot, I'm going to be discussing what I want to do with things. It will kind of date things, but as I've said, I've got my little intros. I probably need to shorten the intro a bit, so you might see that with this one. We'll do some experiments. All right, in the starting area. The journey begins! I'll have to make sure I save in case anything crashes. And as we commence the journey, time to set our... And there we go. So we're all set. We are leaving luck to heaven. DK kicks us off, and our journey kicks off. I'm almost instinctively reaching for the controller as well. I'll have to fiddle around with things sort of on the results screen. Okay. So, basically, my plan is to sort of... Well, I've got to plan things out to develop sort of a more conversational style in a sense. Oh, Mario has landed on the bank. Good start for Mario, in the front for the star. So yeah, I want to develop a more conversational style and actually talk about different things. And Wario gets dudded. 2 8s, 2 6s. And it's a team. Alright, who's going to succeed? Will anybody have a Jamaican bobsled accident? Let's see. There'll be a bit of sports-style commentary as these go on. So let's try and make this interesting. There's a lot of button mashing. It's a slow start. It's a very slow start, but in the lead. Mario and Wario jump out into the lead, and Yoshi and DK are cruising in right behind. They're taking the narrower turn. They take the lead. Cutting off Mario and Wario. Both missing the boost. Mario and Wario driving right up DK and Yoshi's backside. It's a steady race. They're taking the outside of the turn, which could be a bit of a problem. There's that narrow edge, but they're holding pretty well. Ramming again. It's still DK and Yoshi in the lead as they swing to the outside of the turn. Mario and Wario coming in, trying to cut them off. They've taken the lead. They've cut DK and Yoshi off. DK and Yoshi trying to take the inside. Mario and Wario shooting ahead just a little bit. Nobody's taking the inside of the turn still. coming to the split in the path, and DK and Yoshi take it. Are they going to be in the lead? They're just in the lead, but they're taking the wide corner, and Mario and Wario jump back into the lead. It's all even, but DK and Yoshi jump into the lead. Mario and Wario still tight behind. Who's going to take the inside turn? Mario and Wario coming for that inside turn. They're coming to cut them off. They have cut them off. They've cut them off, and DK and Yoshi have driven off the edge. There is your Jamaican, but they've both gone off. Everyone died. The end. See you next game. Oh, good lord. What a start. What a start. That's what I'm looking for. But I'm probably going to be having a bit more of a conversational style with all of you. Note the AI never seems to use the, Shy Guy HUD. Oh, the shake-up comes. It's a battle game. So I'll probably be discussing more plans, more ideas, things that help me relate to you, like how I feel about certain games a bit more, because otherwise it's been me talking about the game and kind of complaining a bit, because I was really unhappy with where Metroid Prime went. I don't think I did a very good job in Metroid Prime, and I want to amend that. I want to be able to fix things up. We've got Wario out already, Yoshi's out, Mario narrowly misses, turns around, and DK gets the win. Unfortunately, Not Gonna Lose is only heard in Bumper Balloon Cars, Balloon Burst, and Driver's Ed, which is a game you will wind up accessing much, much later. You really only hear it from the sound test. But mostly I want to be planning things out and just sort of talking to you about the various things that I appreciate or don't like about certain games. Having more construction and things like that in what I'm doing. Because actually being able to connect with you, the people who are watching this, oh no! Looks like it's DK's star for the taking, if he can make it around there. But being able to connect with you a bit more is pretty much what I want to do. Because just talking over the action, describing what I'm doing is not bad, but you could be watching sport. You could be watching someone else, really. And I want to start putting my own little stamp on things, sort of, this is what I feel, what do you feel? Things like that, making more personal connections along the way. Little things that just say, this is what I want to do. I've been thinking about that because if I'm going to be honest, I've got it all done, and we see Mario and DK going in the wrong direction. Yoshi's heading there, but he's turned away. Wario is nearby. He could turn around. Yoshi's jumping around. He's turned in a circle. Mario jumping on Wario's head. Mario heading straight for it. Wario heading straight for it. They've missed. They've turned around. Nobody's going anywhere near it. They're just spinning in circles. Yoshi has jumped too low. DK randomly punches there. DK randomly punches, flattens him. There's more drunken stumbling. Wario turns around. He's gone in a circle. No one gets it. We have seen no winners apart from the battle game. Apparently these people do not want money. DK has the star. DK does not have the star. We have a very different game. So, I want to be able to sort of start relating a bit more to people, to plan things out. Oh, this is dangerous. To plan things out. I mean, I'm still winging this. But going back to Metroid Prime, I really didn't like that. Yes, Bowser Communism! I'm going to be diverting to the action a lot. Come on, Bowser Communism! So yeah, I'm going to be discussing what's happening, but I'm also going to be trying to relate to people because Metroid Prime was... Oh, there's the hidden block! And it's the star. Wario takes the lead. 3 turns in for the hidden block fluke after they failed to get the first one. But yeah, I really wasn't happy with Metroid Prime, in all fairness, because... like, it was interesting, it was fun to do, but I was often in a pretty bad mindset. And it just got frustrating. It got to the point where I didn't feel too fulfilled. I was just repeating what happened, essentially on screen. And I just wanted to be done with it. I just really wanted to have that out of the way, to not have to worry about it, and that was kind of sad, because I really wanted to do Metroid Prime. I love the game. It's really interesting, it's entertaining, it's a hell of a lot of fun. Though depending on who you ask... Oh, Mario screws up there. Mario cost himself by going for Boo. But yeah, depending on who you ask, Echoes may be a bit better. Some people will probably think Prime is the best of the lot. But either way, I felt like I could have done more. And I got to thinking, I don't have a signature style yet. I've got to find something that makes what I'm doing worth it. I talked for a bit about my favourite Pokemon in Pokemon Heart Gold. I hope I've still got those. I'll have to see how far I got into it so I can do any more. But I know there are lots of topics I can use when it comes to actually addressing people. We got another battle game coming up. Now that's a good idea. Waste your coins. The battle game doesn't cost you as much. So I need to start to figure out more little things like that, sort of saying, this is my experience with everything. What are yours like? Oh, Grab Bag, which was a coin-stealing game in Mario Party 1. I'll get on to Mario Party 1 in due time, and we'll start talking about the series. And we'll have some of my responses to it. So Mario is going for DK, nothing stolen. Wario and Yoshi walking at each other. Mario going for DK again, but still stealing nothing. DK tries to steal from Yoshi, nothing doing. Mario gets a mushroom from Wario. Yoshi steals from Mario, takes that mushroom. Mario and Yoshi staring at each other. Mario nearly gets stolen from, escapes. DK steals from Wario. Yoshi gets stolen from. And let's see, that was a very less than interesting game. Nobody stole from DK, so I would wager DK has the lead. DK and Mario claim victory. I believe there are 5 mushrooms in everyone's pack. And there's the gold mushroom, which counts for 3. One person has that randomly. It will always be the first one stolen. Oh, big roll from Wario. So far, DK, who I put in to be an idiot, is taking the lead quite well, and nobody wants to buy a skeleton key. Could be a 2-on-2. Yep, it's Mario and Wario again. Looney Lumberjacks, who's going to be the cut above? So yeah, Metroid Prime turned into a bit of a personal disappointment. It wasn't as good as I could have had it, and I know that sometimes I'm going to be playing games blind. But I do want to at least make sure that you can tell I'm having fun. It certainly looks like Mario and Wario are winning here. Absolutely terrible teamwork on display. Yep. Mario and Wario get the win. So yeah, I'm coming up to the Donkey Kong Country Trilogy as my next project. Of course, the person I backed is in last. So the Donkey Kong Country Trilogy is intended to be my next project, but the thing is, I'm not very experienced with 2 and 3 at all. A bit of time on the Game Boy Advance versions. Ooh, DK will be able to get out and go for the star. Because he'll be able to take the Bob-omb transportation. Because I figured I need to make something really interesting out of it all. Because, well, I definitely want to make something that's really, really impressive. Comparatively speaking, because I know I'm not going to be gunning for fame and fortune and things like that, because, in all fairness, I'm not doing it to be famous. Fame would be nice. To actually have a bigger audience would be nice. But what I really want to do is just to polish things and at least be able to say I have my own style. And so I need to keep my sanity about me because when I get frustrated, I go quiet. And that's kind of a problem. I need to make sure I'm in a good headspace, I have a good plan and something I can refer to. Alright, we've got a lot of walking around. DK jumps off Mario. More walking around, nobody's throwing a punch. DK is stuck. DK should have fallen off, but didn't. Mario walking very slowly, everyone walking with the rhythm. Yoshi and DK are dead. Wario just walks to his doom. Mario wins. So yeah, I've got to correct things like that. I've got to make sure I get things going just so for me to have the right contribution. Put the right topics in. What do I feel about certain things? You know, game music, things like that. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to plan things out a bit more, and also for the Donkey Kong Country Trilogy, I intend to focus on the Game Boy... Whoops. I intend to focus on the Game Boy Color version of Donkey Kong Country. I might bring up the GBA version of DKC too, because it's mostly got a few extra mini-games, but for DKC 3, I'll have to bring up the Game Boy Advance version for the entirely new world, Pacifica, which was added in, and the bonus boss, Croctopus, which is nothing like the original Croctopus of Donkey Kong Country. So DK is obviously not getting abducted the wrong way. Where's he gonna go? And he's got an item. He can't screw this up, surely. Yoshi can screw things up, though. So basically, that's going to be the plan. The somewhat ambitious project with the Donkey Kong Country Trilogy, and then I will be moving on to Donkey Kong 64 as well, because I want to keep that as a sort of sequence. So, and I am eventually going, as a side project, to get back to Mario Golf. We'll do some Mario Golf Super Rush as side projects as well, but mostly just course stuff once I've completed the game. And Wario is going broke. Not that he had very much money after DK stole from him. You usually don't get Bowser Communism if you're in first. Basically, there are the plans. That I will refine the way I comment. I'll try and sharpen things up on editing. Just add extra little touches, because I think I've done okay for the most part with just making my videos. I can obviously get better equipment and things like that, and that will happen with time. I don't really have a huge budget, and I would feel guilty sort of saying, hey, can you people sort of fund me for new equipment and things like that, because I don't really have a huge audience and I don't know anybody who's really willing to donate to me. Who is in the lead anyway? They're just punching. I'd probably say Mario and DK look like they're in the lead just based on the color of the statue. So Yoshi even... Looks like Mario and DK really are the more intelligent ones. DK earns the first star. The two I put in to be idiots actually have stars. Kind of interesting. So where is the next one? Oh, Yoshi doesn't have enough coins. Yoshi's only hope is to land right by the bank, to roll a 2, basically. Usually DK will probably go for Bowser bombs in item games, at least as far as I know. Oh, no. Oh, even with Bowser Communism, it wouldn't be enough. That's rough. They'd need a coin gathering game for Yoshi. So yeah, basically got a bit of a plan for what's going on. I do intend to do the original janky Fire Emblem at some point as well. Oh no! Yoshi goes bankrupt! The bad luck for Yoshi continues. Mario is still going in circles. And so is Wario, for that matter. Everyone onto Yoshi. Oh no. It's not looking good for Yoshi. I really should stop putting my bets on Yoshi. I think Yoshi was one of the dumbest AIs when I did the original AI Fest. Unsurprisingly, Peach won. So we'll see what happens here before we move on to the next discussion topics. They're just holding, throwing. Long one. DK makes a long one. Wario can't quite reach, neither can Mario. DK just drops it. Long throw from Wario. Mario comes close. DK and Wario very short throws. Yoshi tempting fate, getting in close there. Wario nearly lands it, but Yoshi moves away. Long throw from Mario. Long throw from Wario. Short throws, the very long one goes over the pond. And Yoshi just avoids them all to rack up some much needed coins, but it's not going to be enough. Even Bowser Communism wouldn't be enough at this point. DK gets the bank. Powering through. So, on that sort of conversational style, it is not going to be enough for Yoshi. Hopefully Yoshi doesn't warp out of there, because Yoshi can steal with Boo. But going on to that conversational style, let's talk a bit about Mario Party 2. Hot on the heels of Mario Party, which I think came out the previous year. Mario Party 2 improved a lot. For starters, it did away with the horrible control stick rotating games that nobody really liked. And I still wonder why why some of them... I think they put Tug of War in Mario Party the Top 100. Why is anyone's guess? It's probably a bit easier with the control stick spinning with the 3DS's circle pad, but still. I don't think that was anyone's favourite for the original Mario Party. They got rid of the one-player minigames. They got rid of the fact you could lose coins in minigames. Speaking of minigames, it's time for some commentary as we prepare for the race. Who's going to be the worst? Let's see. Spin outs on the line from DK and Wario. Yoshi takes and does have an early lead, but Wario jumps out quite a way ahead, spins out. DK takes the lead as Mario spins out. Yoshi holding up all right. Yoshi jumping out a long way ahead, but spins out as well, naturally. Wario catches up, spins out. DK and Wario closing in as Mario spins out again. Yoshi slows down. Wario neck and neck. Wario takes the lead. Who's going to spin out? Wario spins out. Yoshi taking the lead again. DK catching up though. DK cruising in. DK spins out. Yoshi spins out right on the line. Spins out right on the line and Wario snatches it. And there we go. So, not being able to lose coins in minigames was a bit of a boon because that could really, really punish players who weren't as skilled. It was kind of unfair, but it was kind of funny at the same time. DK going for the star. It was very easy to sabotage people by throwing those games, so it was pretty good that didn't happen, in all fairness. There was sort of generally a streamlining of the way the boards worked. They were bigger, the graphics were a little bit fancier along the way, and DK immediately warps away. There's just a bit more polish to this game compared to the first one. because we have a few extra mechanics being brought in, like your item shop. You're not relying on just pure luck all the time. There's strategic play and item use, bigger range of happening spaces. Interestingly enough, the first board, the happening spaces send you back to start. The happening spaces trigger the train in Mystery Land. They trigger the speeders in Space Land. In this, they warp you around. In Horrorland, they change from day to night. I think it's only in Bowser Land that they start doing something different depending on where they are on the board, which was a feature that would appear more later on. So Yoshi's going for Wario, grabs on, gets a piece of that fat Wario butt, and drops it in the pipe. Goes for the timer. I don't think I've ever seen the AI drop the timer. I don't think I've ever seen anyone drop the timer. Going for DK. Going for the timer. It's probably taken about as much time to grab the timer as it would to get out to the timer. It's probably taken about as much time to get out to the timer as the timer added on. So that was really pointless from Yoshi, but now going for the timer. This is standard AI practice. Grab someone, grab all the timers. Going for Mario. Things down, grabs onto Mario in a somewhat compromising position. Mario doesn't break free. Mario is down the pipe. DK showing a bit of life. Yoshi still has plenty of time though. DK wriggling. Yoshi holding on. DK gives up the fight and goes in the pipe. That is the game. So yeah, there are lots and lots of improvements. You've got that good range of items. You don't have to rely on luck to get the special dice blocks and things like that. The boards are pretty much standardized, but there's even more work that's been put into them. You just look at all the extra little features that you can see in the background along the way. DK going for the star again, but still doesn't have enough coins. Goes the wrong way onto a red space. Yoshi in a very good position, taking the star, and that'll be the lead. Well, once he goes to Boo, it'll be the lead. A surprising turnaround for Yoshi. You've got a little bit of a... Oh my. Let's see what happens here. I don't think he's going to make it. He might wind up warping away, which is a bit of a tragedy. How many spaces has he got? Oh no, he's not going to warp away. He's going to be right in front of the next star. What a play. Steals from Wario, who is in first. If he takes 14 coins or more, well, even 11 coins or more, because of the blue space, he's got the next star. Wario is bankrupt. Yoshi has thankfully not done that. Yoshi has jumped into the lead out of nowhere. Mario is still aimlessly wandering in circles. Oh, this is going to be interesting. This is going to be interesting. It's not on there. Oh, and Wario might actually get money. And there we are. That is an interesting twist. Wario gets 10 coins and the game is on. The game is well and truly afoot. As we get into the action and I get distracted from talking about Mario Party 2 and all its improvements. Some of the mini-games do return, but they're polished up a bit. And they are quite fun as well. And we set off on the great race. It's terrible steering from Yoshi, taking them away from the boosters, but he's brought it back. That said, Wario and DK do actually wind up getting the boost, and that's why I wind up fiddling with the control stick, because the screen does that. Wario gets shot, and gets shot again. Mario and Yoshi in the lead. But a shot up their nose. Careful, you idiots! I said across her nose, not up it! There is a lot of getting shot here. A lot of people are getting shot. First miss we've seen in a while. Those point defense cannons doing a remarkable job. And the quick boost. It's still a lead. They're going into the Bowser balloons, and it is still a lead. Are they going to crash into the Bowser balloons, which are extremely sprite-based? They make it through the Bowser balloons. There's a miss from the point defense cannon, but it's got a... It nearly had a point-blank shot. DK and Wario stuck behind as Mario and Yoshi avoid the point defense cannon. Will they get shot off the line? They will not. Quite the race indeed. So yeah, you see, things are starting to be built on. There's a bit more content. Some of the content is definitely the same, but there is kind of that problem. Well, there is kind of a problem that it... Oh no! That's kind of a problem. The problem I was going to say is that it's a bit slow, is that some of the boards are a bit fiddly. Because of their size, it can often be a bit fiddly to navigate them. Some of the boards in the original were a bit simpler. These ones have very big boards, but the main frustration can be navigating them. I believe Western Land actually has the most spaces of any board in the series. There might be some in Mario, there might be one or two later on that do actually surpass it. But the boards in here are really big, so that's probably the major issue, navigating the boards. If you get a really crap dice roll, then you're not really going anywhere. It's another hidden block for Wario! The fat man gets more charity after Yoshi gets screwed over so badly. Anything but a 1. That was... Well, I'm used to stuff like that happening to me. That sort of stuff does happen to me a lot. Yeah, there's generally a lot of improvement in the way Mario Party 2 plays. And while 3 has its issues here and there, it does play pretty solidly overall. It expanded a lot of the mechanics we take for granted today. And it is a legitimately enjoyable game. It's got its own odd style for deliberate reasons. It's got that sort of toy box base. Oh, DK just pipped Yoshi! It's got sort of a toy box as sort of more playtime theme to it. There's a slightly different aesthetic style that is at least mixing things up. But while it does add a few changes, it adds that interesting dual mode. The standard play isn't too much different. Probably being the biggest issue with Mario Party that the core gameplay hasn't really freshened up enough to make things interesting. And it's one of the issues that sort of started with this game, because the first game actually had a fair bit of variety in its boards. The Follow the Track to the Star was first shown off in Mario's Rainbow Castle. You have Peach's Birthday Cake, which does have a central star spot, and you go around the board. This would be expanded upon with boards like Fair Square and DK's Stone Statue, which I absolutely love. You had a board with 2 possible star spaces and a lot of strategy based around rotating them. And you had Eternal Star with its possibility of getting, well, 7 different star spots. Yoshi is doing terribly here, by the way. Yoshi, I do not expect to do particularly well. Shut down by DK. Yoshi is not going to be winning this one. Yoshi is going to have to work very hard to get back, but I would say the team of 3 is going to ace this. Yoshi is not even trying. Yoshi has given up as Mario wanders along. And there we go. Very leisurely pace, and Mario's team casually throws an extremely small fish to blatantly sprite-based penguins. They're going to have to fight each other over that little morsel of fish. We're basically travelling in our penguin suits to wind up feeding a bunch of starving penguins, forcing them to fight to the death over a miserable little fish for our amusement. That got dark pretty quick. So, Mario Party 2 is probably the one I have the biggest amount of memories with. Well, this is going to be interesting. We'll see what we've got. It's a pretty good game that satisfies a lot. It just lacks a few of the more modern tweaks, like holding 3 items, and perhaps some of the more expanded modes, but it is nonetheless a lot of fun. It's a bit of a disaster for Yoshi, who blatantly screws that up. Getting the warp block on this board would be very handy. There are some things that I do think it's lacking, but that's only in hindsight that later games have built on it. This is sort of a solid foundation, as it were. It's strengthening the foundations, and it has enabled the developers to go further and do more with later games. That same Bowser space. Is Wario going to have to pay those 10 coins he got last time back? Yes, he is, with interest. 100% interest. Wario doesn't need to pay for his stars if he's just going to find hidden blocks, though. And it's everyone onto Wario. Move to the music. Might take a bit of a chance to rest my voice. Well, that was quick. Now, against human players, that's really hard for the one person to win. As I've said before, I will usually wind up playing out an Ocarina song from Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask. Might as well have a bit of fun with things. DK trying to get that star again. Yoshi goes for the second circuit around. And there's the battle game. Skeleton keys are very good in this. So that more creative item usage is pretty helpful. But of course you have more items and more scope to use them in Mario Party 3. So we've got a pretty good development from the original game. We've got better, more polished mini-games. We have generally fairer mechanics. But we do have a sort of standard go around, wind up picking up coins and get stars. We don't really have the variety as such that the original game did, in all fairness. You would have to say that as far as variety of boards goes, the original game was pretty good, and then after that, it kind of got a bit bland. Okay, so who's going to have the biggest misshapen monstrosity? Who's really going to have the best option? It is a narrow win to Wario. Yoshi was last. Really, it's... like, 3 did develop a few extra mechanics, added some nice modes. But it was sort of where the core gameplay of Mario Party was established and set... Oh no! Mario misses out. It's where all the... No, he's going to get Boo. He's going to get it. If he makes it there, he'll steal with Boo. He'll steal off Wario. It's all good. So yeah, Mario Party 3 sort of helped solidify a lot of the core mechanics, added a few extra modes along the way. 4 brought it's like, I haven't played 3 much, so I can't really talk to you about Mario Party 3 very much. It has some interesting mini-games along the way. There are some nice ideas. I like the expanded item system. I like the fact that some of the boards bring back older mechanics. And there's the potential to change things around with the stars that they didn't really do, because you have the illusion one in Spiny Desert, which is really good. Oh, Yoshi gets a gift! You have the illusion mechanic, which is annoying, but it changes things up. Chilly Waters is pretty much standard. Woody Woods is pretty much standard. You've got You've got Creepy Cavern and Waluigi's Island, which play out pretty much standard, apart from the island that changes all its spaces. There are lots of tricks and traps in Waluigi's Island, but it's... Oh yeah, Deep Bloober Sea is the other one. There are little tricks and traps for moving around the board and some changes, but overall, it still pretty much has the go around the board and get the star, with only Spiny Desert mixing things up. Our contestants are winding up. They're starting their engines. Who is going to fly the furthest? We will see what happens. Away they go. They take to the air. They're puttering along. A few of them dipping fairly early. It's not looking fantastic. They're not doing very well. Will they wind up crashing? Who is going to wind up crashing first? They're limping along a bit. Wario's is out, and DK has just limped along. Yoshi creeps into second place, but that doesn't matter because DK just made it to 20 yards, and he wins. That went a lot shorter than I anticipated. How many turns into this thing are we, anyway? This is the 15th turn, oh boy. Under the normal rules, we'd be getting to the last 5 turns. DK is going to steal coins. Oh no, he's stolen from Yoshi! Oh, that's brutal. That's really brutal. DK being an absolute asshole there. That is the sort of dick move that loses you friends. That is just mean. That's cold, man. That is cold. Oh, I hope DK winds up getting a Bowser Bomb and losing all his coins. That turn was cold. So yeah, back to Mario Party 3. Not a lot of experience with that, which is kind of sad. It's a pretty fun game. It does have some interesting styles for the boards, the way things move around. Basically, Woody Woods is kind of like Luigi's Engine Room. You've got the slippery ice in the middle of chilly waters, the press the button thing with Deep Bloober Sea. Spiny Desert, you have like cacti you can deal with. DK is trying to get himself eliminated there. All the little action time things were actually interesting, but they're just kind of not very important gimmicks at the same time. They don't really add a lot, but they can change things up and be used strategically, which I suppose is okay. All Wario and Yoshi have to do is look in opposite directions and they've won. So there were some nice little ideas that didn't really get expanded on. And of course they did have one idea that really shouldn't have been expanded on, and rightly wasn't. The reverse mushroom. It could have been polished. Because the idea with the reverse mushroom was that it was a penalty. But what usually happened was you'd wind up going backwards. Then you could choose where you wanted to go at any junction. Oh, this is mean. DK is going to snatch another star. So basically what you could do is use it strategically to go down paths that, say, led to skeleton key doors or something like that. And you could wind up seeing, like, Boo twice or something like that, stealing from people. You could go back to get a star that appeared behind you. Come on, Bowser Communism. You could use it in a whole lot of strategic ways, so they got rid of it. Damn it. Coin... Ah, no coin potluck, no communism. Upset. And Mario is broke. So yeah, there were lots of interesting ideas and some really creative ways to use items, but overall, as far as the actual formula goes, it is kind of more of the same. Wario chooses not to get out and starts going around in circles. What is that man doing? It's back to the bobsled run. Last time, Both teams died. Can we have a non-fatal bobsled race? It's time to go into commentator mode. It's a slow start. There was a bit of a stop. There's a bit of a stop. They're starting. They're starting. They're still starting. They're still starting. The race is finally on with DK and Wario in the lead. Team Bruiser and Team Pit Jump. Team Bruiser is in the lead. They both get the first boost. Team Bruiser still in the lead with Team Pit Jump right on their tail. Slowing down. Team Bruiser in the lead. Team Pit Jump still following. No real change. Trying to sneak in on the inside. Team Pit Jump needs to sneak in on the inside of the turn, but it's still Team Bruiser. Team Pit Jump takes the lead, cuts off Team Bruiser. Slowly going around the turn with Team Bruiser catching up. They're approaching the split in the track shortly, but they're taking a long time to go around the turn. Team Bruiser catching up. Team Bruiser goes the long way, but they miss the boost. And Team Pit Jump is behind. Team Pit Jump coming in on the inside. They take the lead again. Team Bruiser takes the lead. Skirting along the edge there. Team Bruiser narrowly in the lead. Team Pit Jump hugging the inside lane. Team Pit Jump trying to come through. Trying to cut off Team Bruiser. Team Bruiser falls to its death. Team Pit Jump holding on. Team Pit Jump still holding on. Staying on the track so far. They're approaching the end. There can't be too much more to go. It's a straight shot and Team Pit Jump claims the victory. Welcome to Mario Party 2 bobsled races, where we have a 75% fatality rate. Out of 4 competing teams, 3 have died. And DK takes another star. And it's right near where Wario is. Did he know the star was going to wind up appearing there, or is he just a moron? I suspect he's just a moron. But yeah, I don't really have a lot to talk about when it comes to Mario Party 3. Not a lot of memories, not a lot of options to sort of observe and reference everything. I do have to get around to playing it at some point. I would greatly enjoy doing the duel mode. That was a bit of fun. Mario going absolutely nowhere. Wario also going absolutely nowhere. Great start. So, Hexagon Heat, just a reskinned mushroom mix-up. So next we move on to Mario Party 4, which I have played a fair bit. It doesn't have a lot of diversity in terms of overall movement. It's essentially 4-directional movement in terms of working out where you're going to go. Mario's just made it. They're bouncing around. Mario and Wario are dead. It's blue. Yoshi makes it. DK rejected, bounces, and doesn't run off the edge. It's green. They're running across. Yoshi's rejected DK. So yeah, Mario Party 4 I haven't played for a long time. I don't have as fond memories of playing the game. It's good. It has some interesting extra modes, but it probably has a few more quibbles and problems than it does sort of real good points. It's a solid enough game in its own right, I'm gonna be honest there, but it doesn't... But I don't know, the fact that the boards are sort of... Well, they're kind of just metal walkways above everything. There's kind of a sense that it's not sort of integrated into the actual areas as such. It kind of feels like it is just a board game. I think in some ways the design aspects backfire on it and take away from some of the interesting locales. They take away from, well, in a sense, the soul as such of the game. There are certainly some interesting ideas. I don't think the Mini and Mega Mushrooms were executed as well as they could have been. There are some neat ideas. It's a very experimental game. Call it a proof of concept game with some really good bonus modes along the way. There are some really good options if you want to try things out. But overall, I think it probably does fall flat when it's compared to 5, 6, and 7. What's Wario gonna do? No, he's not gonna buy anything. Okay. I would have bought a gold mushroom myself if I knew I wasn't gonna warp away. No, maybe a red... No, actually, probably made the right idea because he's not gonna get enough money. The gold mushroom wouldn't have helped me. I'd have had to win the next minigame. No, if the gold regular mushroom would have been the better play and then win the next minigame, but... We'll see what happens. Are they going to fall off in the first few seconds? How on earth... I was actually just going to say, how did they not fall off? But there you go. Bit of bad luck for Yoshi on that one. So yeah, 4's definitely sort of that proof of concept game. It's sort of... Let's move it into the GameCube era. Let's see what we can do with it. Oh, bye-bye Wario. Finally leaves. Finally leaves when he doesn't want to. Abandoned ship. Next minigame. Yeah, 4 was good, but 5, while it had the really, really stupid item system, it was nice seeing the Star Spirits. Also, by the way, this is the absolute worst boat in the history of the world. It bumps into that rock at a speed that would probably make snails look charitably quick, and it winds up just sinking. This is an insurance scam. This ship sinking is an insurance scam. And Mario condemns everybody else to drown while he winds up getting the insurance money. So, 5, while it does have the stupid item system, it does have the return of the Star Spirits, which is a nice touch. I do enjoy that as a game mechanic. There's a fair bit of charm to the whole thing, in all honesty. I love the design of the boards in 5. I love the Super Dual mode, even if it's broken in half by the EGAD parts. I really do think that without the stupid item system, if they actually changed that to be a more competent item system, that would be an amazingly good game. It's let down by those items, but the boards are absolutely beautiful. Excuse me, the boards are absolutely beautiful. They look like they're full of life and they're just interesting. Mario Party 5, to me, has a lot of charm. Even that item system can't quite screw things up. DK's leading on the coin star still. It's just something really special. Just in terms of its character, its heart, its nice ideas, it's still got that one dodgy idea. But overall, I do think it's a legitimately fun game and I enjoy playing it. Things can be a bit slow-paced at times, but it's overall a lot of fun. I do really appreciate Mario Party 5. I think Pirate Dream is probably one of my favourite boards in the entire series. Partly because I do like pirates. I have a bit of a fondness for the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, and in the Can't Fight Vanguard TCG, the Grand Blue Clan is my clan of choice, so with their current reboot, I'm going for the Stoicheia decks that reflect Grand Blue of old. There are some amazing mechanics in there. Wario actually intelligent. Quite a surprise. So, I love that aesthetic. I just like the design of the boards in general. They're all really, really neat. Really cleverly done. They're just... The soundtrack is really good as well. There's something really nice about Bowser's theme in 5 and 6. 5 gives him a sort of really dodgy vibe, like it's the sort of music for a slightly shadier than usual used car salesman. You just know something dodgy is going to happen when Bowser's around. It's not like outright evil like the one in Mario Party 6 is, but you just know that he's dodgy. And that's kind of fun. Oh, Yoshi. Oh, Wario has been eaten. Yoshi has the lead, and Yoshi is going to maintain the lead, as far as I know, because it is nearly impossible, if not outright impossible, to catch up. Yeah, I really, really love 5's overall aesthetics, and I love the Super Duel mode. It's got some nice bonus modes as well. They actually did some great work adding in all those extra little bonus modes when it came to Mario Party 5, and they built on that with 6 as well. 5 is almost a blueprint. Yoshi threading the needle. 5 is like a blueprint for 6 to be really, really good. Wario's going to steal off Yoshi, but that's okay. Yeah, 5 is like a blueprint for 6 to be even better. Mario got that roll last time. The exact same order. Well, so far we've seen a bit of a downturn in the stupid. It's just sort of people bumbling around. Mario going in circles. Is he going to cast? That would be a good opportunity to cast a slow curse on Yoshi. But nothing doing. Wario, is he going to steal? He is going to steal. And you can use the item you stole on the turn you steal it. So yeah, 5's got a lot going for it, and I really do enjoy it, but 6 is honestly even better. The item system is revamped so well. Sorry about that. The item system is revamped really nicely, changes things around it, it kind of informs things for 6, 7, and to a degree DS. So that was a really, really good concept, the way they used items in those games. The boards look even more spectacular, are full of life, incredibly interesting, and they actually freshen up the mechanics at long last. Because 2 through 5 pretty much had go around the board, collect stars. Essentially your standard Mario Party gameplay. You had that in Towering Treetop, you had that in Egad's Garage. DK's dead. Mario is sandwiched. Toad dies though. Mario is still sandwiched. Yoshi dies. And Wario misses. But then you change things up with fair square, which Mario gets himself shot. If he'd run the other way, he would have been fine, but which basically takes the Peach's birthday cake mechanic and adds a set star space where you can get a number of stars. Depending on how many, if you have coins enough for 2, you can get 2 stars. And what's this going to be? So, you had a whole lot. You had that. You had Snowflake Lake, the Chain Chomp stealing game. That one was a bit of fun as well, and it added in a bit of extra strategy. You then had Castaway Bay, which was basically Mario's Rainbow Castle, but way more beautiful, and with the chance of actually losing stars. Oh no! What is it with this game and Yoshi? Oh! Yoshi getting absolutely rogered any time a star is near. This is just cold, and it's DK who boned him again. In this context, boned was being used as a slang term for fired or sacked. There was a bit of a fiasco with this, I don't know what, 15, 16 years ago? Which was, which of course wound up being used in an album by sporting comedian The 12th Man around the time when the entire Channel 9 cricket commentary team was sacked and replaced with The 12th Man as a bit of a parody, because he's generally able to do some pretty good voices for those. Very, very Australian comedy, but probably not too good on on how it treated Indian, Sri Lankan, and Pakistani cricketers, in all fairness, now that one thinks about it. Yep, there's... Oh, I thought Yoshi had jumped over that, but jeez, that last turn. Absolutely terrible. Twice Yoshi has been right near the star, and DK has just come along and said, nope, screw you, and just messed him up. Is Karma going to strike DK down like a one-winged duck, or will he get away with everything? They're really not interested in buying anything. This is cold. This has been utterly cold-blooded for poor Yoshi. And Mario, who's just been bumbling along, winds up getting the star. At least it's not DK. Yoshi absolutely brutalized by the game. Well, there we go. So yeah, Mario Party 6 added in the day and night mechanic. Well, really there are only two standard boards. I do need to mention Clockwork Castle, which is a unique one where you chase stars during the day and run away from Bowser and try not to lose stars at night. 6 had a lot more creative mechanics in how its boards worked. It freshened things up a little bit in that regard. Its item system was really, really good. It had a bit more strategic use of items with all the different capsules being refined. And just in general, it was quite clever. I absolutely love Castaway Bay. I love the soundtrack for the game. But there is kind of a glaring flaw with... What's happened again? Sorry. There is kind of a glaring flaw with Mario Party 6. The microphone. It's really, really fiddly and it is so unresponsive. Playing the mic mode is a real nightmare and Yoshi coughs up big time there. Playing the mic mode is a real nightmare because you're lucky if things actually wind up responding. That is always a problem. It can be very difficult and very fiddly to actually go through everything with the microphone. But... Oh no, don't tell me. Oh wait, that's a happening space. Don't tell me. There's no need to tell me because it didn't happen. Poor old Yoshi absolutely, royally screwed over. So, the microphone mode is terrible. What's this gonna be? The microphone mode is kind of terrible, even though the mic minigames are fun. There is an interesting programming shortcut, basically, that allows you to exploit a number of minigames because the game is basically programmed to pick up certain fragments of words as being close to certain things. So, as a result, with Fruit Talktail, you can speak absolute gibberish. Wario gets the bank. Wario jumps into the Coinstar lead. You can speak absolute gibberish into the microphone and it will work. Which can make for some really, really creative and hilarious mini-games. There was even a comic, an Awkward Zombie comic, where Wario is speaking complete gibberish into the microphone. You've got people catching on fire, Toad with a harpoon through his head. It's just really, really weird how it works, but you can exploit it pretty well. Yoshi's been squashed. Squashy. That was terrible. Mario not really doing much to DK. And there we go. DK gave him every chance in the world. And looks like the Lightbulb team wins. They have a pancake, a monkey with a concussion, and a fat man with a German accent. Because he was originally intended to be German and was voiced by Nintendo of Europe employee Thomas Spindler originally, but Charles Martinet took over. Or DK can't get the Star Steal. Just off one miserable coin off the Star Steal. But definitely stealing off Wario. No idea who's got the minigame star. So yeah, apart from the microphone mode being absolutely awful, because of the voice recognition technology being a bit crap, 6 is a really good game. The day and night mechanics, switching up the way the boards can play and how you can move around the board, DK gets the star, the third star from a hidden block. Big target on DK's back. More misery for Yoshi. But yeah, the way the boards change around, especially with Clockwork Castle, is honestly really entertaining. More things like that would have been nice. Even more drastic changes to the way the boards played and felt would have been really worthwhile. I mean, you can't get everything, but overall it's a really, really solid game. I don't have a lot of experience with 7. I don't have really fond memories of it as such. I don't hate it, but I don't have great memories. It does mix things up along the way. Like, I have a lot of love for 5, and I really adore 6, but I'm not as keen on 7. Bit my tongue there. Gonna give my voice a little bit of a rest for this minigame. Yoshi was just not trying. Well done, DK. You wound up throwing the food to the paupers. Watch them fight and laugh. How far are we into this again? That was the halfway mark. Round about an hour was the halfway mark. Oh, Yoshi warps away and doesn't even get to boo. Oh, that's cold. That's a bit rough on poor old Yoshi. Mario also warping away. So, 7. Now, it has some really nice locales. It changes up the way the boards play really well, because you've got the standard mode with the Grand Canal. You've got Pagoda Peak, which is your Mario's Rainbow Castle board. You've got Neon Heights, which is the treasure chest board. Go around the board, there are 3 treasure chests, see what you get. You've got Pyramid Park, which repeats and improves. Is Wario going to get them all? 2 of them. Yeah, Wario shouldn't fail this one. But then you had Windmillville, which introduced the invest in the star spaces and make a profit out of that mechanic. Like, you can improve the quality of your hotels in Mario Party 8, which I haven't played very much of. In 7, it was just set star amounts, which is not bad. It's still a pretty good mechanic. It changes things up very nicely. I think there's going to be a mutual star steal here. So 7 switches things up in the way that the boards actually play. With Bowser's, with the Bowser board, adding a... Oh, it's chance time! The Bowser board did not add chance time. DK gives 20 coins to himself. What's it going to be? DK... and Wario. Wario has to give 20 coins to DK. Bit of a fizzer.
No, I
There it is. The line we've all been waiting for. You can rig chance time. It is worth noting that in Mario Party 1 and 2, if you know what you're doing and you know how the timing of the blocks works, you can rig chance time. You will be able to stop things so that you can force somebody to give you a star. Come on, communism. Ah! He's in first! Bowser, you weaseled out on us. He's in second. You still weaseled out on us. Oh, it's speed hockey. If Wario and Yoshi win this, then they will win. It is Team Construction Site versus Team Mixture. First goal for Team Mixture by not doing very much. I couldn't really think of a connection. Team Construction Site doing terribly. Absolutely no effort to move by Team Mixture. Terrible effort by Team Mixture. Absolutely nothing doing. And they throw it away. Team Mixture coughs it up to Team Construction Site after taking the lead. I couldn't really think of a connecting factor for Wario and Yoshi. We're going for the mutual star steal here. DK has the coin star with a Nelson, by the way. 111 is referred to as a Nelson in British terminology, with the story of Admiral Horatio Nelson having one working arm, one eye, and one leg. It was, I believe it was, I think it might have been, well, there was one naval engagement. It might have been Trafalgar. I'm not 100% sure. Future me can pop that up on the screen. But Nelson was told to withdraw via standard naval signals. He was told to withdraw. According to legend, Nelson put the telescope to his bad eye and said, "I do not see the signal." Basically, creatively interpreted orders as such to wind up staying in battle and won. But yes, he was said to have the one eye, one arm, one leg, which is why during test matches, it's another chance time, which is why during test matches, umpire David Shepherd from England, DK gives 3 coins to himself, would tuck one arm behind his back and hop on one leg whenever a cricketer or the total score reached 111. It was one of those little superstition things. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Oh no! The game hates Yoshi! Yoshi was reduced to 5 coins. The game is been screwing Yoshi over so badly. Now Mario, with the merciless savagery that sees him chuck Yoshi into a pit just to get a second jump, coldly, brutally throws his companion to the wolves and forces him to give Wario all his coins. That is savagery. That is savagery. There is no other word for it, dear viewers. That is absolute cold-blooded brutality against the dinosaur. It's almost like I'm playing. Almost every time I play Mario Party, I will start off really, really terrible. And of course, I'll be complaining that I'm absolutely suffering because I wind up suffering something fierce. When things go wrong for me in Mario Party, they go badly wrong. But then, of course, I wind up looking like an idiot because towards the end of the game, Yoshi has screwed up. Towards the end of the game, I always wind up having a string of good luck and making a comeback, so I really haven't learned. I'm surprised that registered. But yeah, so going back to Mario Party 7, while I love its locales, I love its boards, I love its extra options, I absolutely hate Bowser time. Usually Bowser's a pain in the ass, but he's a likable pain in the ass. He's one of those villains that you just enjoy seeing. You know he's a bit of a nuisance, but you can just sort of enjoy him being around because of his bombastic personality, his larger-than-life attitude, things like that. I hate Bowser in Mario Party 7 because his constant whining. Yoshi gets out of there, completely despondent, warps DK in. Bowser's constant whining makes him come across as a petulant jerk. He chucks a hissy fit because everybody left him out of the party. Unsurprisingly. Whoops. Really not getting good with that. I'll have to rotate it after every minigame. Bowser chucks a hissy fit because everyone left him out of the cruise and didn't take him on their holiday. I mean, admittedly, he really shouldn't be surprised, but he basically chucked a hissy fit and decided that he was going to screw everybody's vacation over. Oh no, what is he? Oh, thank you. And that's kind of the problem, that Bowser sticks his nose in and screws everything over every 5 turns. And it's not necessarily going to affect whoever's in first. Oh, this could be interesting. It's a really stupid mechanic because it might not impact you, but it might just... Only 10 coins. Goomba. But like, it might just screw over the person in last. There is absolutely no reason for Bowser to just be a complete petty pain in the arse, other than just hindering your gameplay experience. When Bowser's a jerk and screws people over, he can at least, in games like this, he can at least make it funny. In Mario Party 7, it got tiresome. And Yoshi gets brutalized again. It got so tiresome, so irritating, having Bowser just poke his nose in, mess with everything, and basically be, look at me, I'm the center of attention, I'm going to mess around with you, I'm going to make your lives miserable, blah blah blah, more so than I usually do. Like, when you land on a Bowser space, you know you've had bad luck, but getting screwed over by a game-mandated event is incredibly annoying. To me, Bowser is like, basically like the AFL umpires. It's like, how can I make this all about me rather than just letting the game flow? And Yoshi doesn't even get the pity coin. That's cold. It's basically, how can I make this about me? We're supposed to have a game that's flowing smoothly. It's an enjoyable experience. How can I drag everything down, make it stop, and make it about me? Granted, Bowser actually understands the rules of Mario Party compared to AFL umpires, who I'm pretty sure don't understand the rules, no matter how much is explained to them. But in fairness, that might be because the AFL can't seem to make up its mind on what the interpretation of the rules is going to be from week to week. But overall, Bowser in Mario Party 7 just sours the experience. That's probably the big takeaway I've got from Mario Party 7, that Bowser absolutely sucks. And you don't want to be saying that. You don't want to be saying that Bowser sucks. Otherwise, you're in a sticker star situation. Yoshi is coming a long way behind, because Bowser is absolutely lifeless in Sticker Star. There is kind of no point to him being there because he's absolutely mute. He doesn't say anything. He doesn't have a personality. Bowser is all about his personality. Bowser is all about that larger-than-life, over-the-top nature that is egotistical with the skills to back it up. It's another chance time. Like, basically, turning Bowser into sort of the whiny character he is, and DK is once more giving coins to himself. Bowser felt whiny in Mario Party 7, that the whole thing, it's like, I've made your lives hell, and I'm going to crack it with you for not... Oh, Yoshi finally gets some charity. It's like, I've made your lives hell, and I'm going to get annoyed with you when you quite rightly choose not to do something with me after I've made your lives hell. And we get the line again. So yeah, Bowser came across as super petty and annoying. I really didn't like Bowser in Mario in Mario Party 7. I love the rest of the game, but Bowser time is such an intrusion that it actually takes away a lot of points for me. I haven't played a lot of 8, so I can't really judge that one. I will say, though, that I don't really remember playing a lot of games with it. I've played a couple here and there, but the game that was most prominent for me was the game where I finally stopped getting screwed over. I actually played really well. I didn't have crappy luck. I didn't wind up losing a whole lot of stars to random chance and things like that. And I still lost to the AI on bonus stars. So that's what I remember about Mario Party 8, a very bitter grudge. Mario Party 9 I didn't play as much. It's an interesting game with some good mechanics that were changed up. It's controversial, I know, but I did kind of enjoy the game overall. The change-up was nice, even if the sort of focus on team play as such, some focus on team play is not really what I like. Now, it's worth noting... Thank you, That was pathetic. It's worth noting that the focus on team play got a bit annoying for me. You could still screw people over, of course, and there were still perks to being at the front of the car, but overall it was nice, but it's like, I probably wouldn't have done this again. Don't do what I think you're about to do. Don't do what I think... Oh, good, it's not there. Because if there was a Bowser bomb, you can be sure that DK would have been... Did it again. Would have been that guy, he would have gone for it, and there would have been hell to pay. DK, yeah. I have never seen that happen before. Did he just decide that there wasn't a Bowser bomb, so he wasn't going to go for anything? Yoshi gets out. What was that? And there's the inevitable battle game. Watch it be 50 coins and watch Yoshi come last. 10 coins, that's bearable. So yeah, 9 was an okay game, but I don't remember a lot about it. Is anyone going to experience the Crazy Cutters glitch? This was just a regular minigame in Mario Party 1, and if you got over a certain score, you got points. You got coins. So, yeah, 9 I really didn't like that much. I mean, I didn't hate it, but it was sort of... It's a nice novelty, but I wouldn't continue with this. 10. Oh, I hate Mario Party 10. Even though, I'm going to be honest here, Mario Party 10 was probably the only one... Yoshi was terrible. Mario Party 10 was the only one for a long time that didn't go out of its way to screw me over. And that was a problem because it sucked. Mario Party 10 has so many ways you can lose half your mini-stars that if you're in the lead, it's not worth being in the lead until right at the end. It's really worth making that last-minute charge. Here's another battle game. You really have to make that last-minute charge because otherwise the game has it in for you. You are going to get screwed over. There are so many ways to lose half your mini-stars. It's not funny. And the whole thing about not unleashing Bowser, if you roll all the numbers of 1 through 6 inclusive, you will release Bowser and he will steal half the mini-stars of whoever is in first and throw a whole lot of Bowser spaces around the board. Now, of course, one of the big problems with this mechanic is that it can be very difficult to avoid that. And if you do somehow wind up not releasing Bowser, by the time you get to the almost there point, then, okay, all well and good, you didn't release Bowser. But look, here's Bowser Jr. chucking a fit and throwing a whole lot of Bowser Jr. spaces into a more confined area, because you can't go backwards. So basically, while you avoided anyone losing half their mini-stars, everything else was completely pointless. You've used a lot of strategy, you've used a lot of creativity to avoid releasing Bowser, and virtually the same thing but slightly less bad happens. It really sucked. There was absolutely no point. You might as well just sabotage someone and hope dumb luck screws someone over. That was a nuisance. Bowser again just felt incredibly intrusive in this game. Wow, Yoshi was cold there. Nice bit of revenge as he pushes DK to his demise. A little bit of revenge for all the times DK screwed Yoshi over. DK screwing Yoshi would be bestiality, and I would feel the same way about that as I do the idea that Peach actually is Bowser Jr.'s mother. It's not on, and it's gross. So, that aside, so you had the really, really annoying mechanics of the standard boards with 10. Then you had Bowser Party, and oh my god, that sucked. And here we go, Mario is giving coins to himself as well. Everybody's being generous to themselves. Always look after yourself. What's it gonna be? Mario's involved. DK's involved. 3 coins! Mario basically landed on a red space. Mario with the histrionics there, acting as if it's the most tragic thing in the entire world. Yeah, so Bowser Party sucked. It was so... oh dear. It was so biased towards Bowser, it wasn't funny. That, like, if you lost, you had a legitimate reason to complain that the game was screwing you over. If you lost as Bowser, you had that legitimate reason. Oh dear, multiplying toads. We don't see this very often. Don't think we saw it at all in the AI Fest. Damn it, control stick. We have 2 toads. One is right in front of Mario. And the other one is all the way over near Boo. But yeah, so Bowser Party was a pain in the backside if you were the regular players, because things were so skewed in favor of Bowser that you were generally going to lose. And even if you did somehow avoid all the little cheats as such, all these little mechanics that made the game go in favor of Bowser and made it to the end, you still had to play a luck-based minigame which could push you back. Mario not doing well there. That could possibly push you back right into the path of Bowser, who would then proceed to screw you over with another unbalanced minigame. I think Yoshi and DK have won this just. It was horrible. Like, if you actually lost as Bowser, the game hated you. It was so biased towards Bowser that it was almost effortless to win, and if you did lose as Bowser, the game absolutely hated you. You had a legitimate reason to claim that the game hated you. It was that bad. Then you had Amiibo Party, which was just a bland, uninteresting, watered-down version of Mario Party. You basically had square boards with slight variations based on Amiibo, and Mario gets the star. The star is put right in... No, it's not! Right. Well, there we go. Yoshi can warp to the star next. I forgot that's how it worked because it's been so long since I saw it. Bumper balls, which has a tendency to end in a draw until the top 100 refine it by making the platform smaller and removing and increasing the knockback. I think there is actually only the one arena available here. Yoshi commits suicide. Yoshi's instinctive behavior being thrown into a pit there. So it often winds up in a draw, but the original one actually had more variations, as far as I can remember. At least I think it was the original one. Or maybe it's this one that has some variations. I can't quite remember. So there's sort of a standard one, there's one with hills, and there's one with ice in the middle. Mario really dicing with death here. And just gives up. Not a great performance by Mario there at the end. Held out particularly well, but not good enough. So yeah, Amiibo Party does have themed areas based on which amiibo you use to create the board, but the problem is that absolutely everything requires you to touch the amiibo to the point on the Wii U controller where you move it. It is such a drag. It is so slow paced because of it. As a result, it takes forever, and the fact that it's just a basically square board really renders it not very fun. I think Yoshi's warping away. Nothing's going right for Yoshi. So yeah, Amiibo Party was terrible, Bowser Party was so unbalanced it wasn't funny, and the main game mode was so poorly designed, so boring, so full of irritating ways to lose your mini-stars, that there was almost no point. The worst part is, as I said, it was the only game in the series that didn't screw me over all the time. Which was really, really disappointing. Because it's like, I don't want to give this game any attention, but at the same time it does actually stop screwing me over. What am I going to do? DK gets flattened there. A lot of bumbling around here. Yoshi has it but turns around. Mario jumping near it. Wario jumping near it. Mario and Wario fighting each other. DK and Yoshi fighting each other. Mario goes for it. Yoshi tries but is going the wrong way entirely. DK could have jumped but didn't get it. It's almost time. Wario doesn't jump high enough and they've lost it again. So yeah, 10, absolutely hate it. Probably one of my least favourite games of all time, and yet for a long while it was the only Mario Party game which didn't screw me over. And DK's going to go and get the star. DK's... Huh? Okay. What is happening? What is happening? Why did he refuse that? So yeah, then after 10 we wind up getting to Super Mario Party. Wario making bank. So, Super Mario Party, it has some interesting modes. It's got some pretty fun mini games along the way. It certainly looks nice, it's fairly creative, but the problem is that it's too short. The boards are really small, and there's also kind of the problem that they're not long enough. Okay, we got 2 idiots who died on the first flag. You're all idiots! Except for DK! So, with that out of the way... So, Super, the boards are a bit on the small side. They have some nice variations, but they are a bit on the small side. Partner Party is fairly fun. That's based on the mechanics of Mario Party Star Rush. 30 coins. This is going to be interesting. Let me lubricate my throat for a bit. So as we see DK win again in about 5 seconds. DK looking like holding a very, very strong lead here. Undisputed Coinstar leader, Yoshi in a terrible position again. So, probably my biggest issue with Super is that it's so friendly. Like, this was my main Mario Party experience. Mario Party to me is still about the backstabbing, the manipulation, the dumb luck that comes out of nowhere. That's what Mario Party is to me. And I don't mind it being accessible to people, but I also do think that you're kind of missing something if you don't at least have the opportunity for that treachery. That ability to throw minigames, to stitch someone up, that element of strategy in a sense, that yes, you're being a jerk, but you're being a strategic jerk at the same time. Like, you make some sort of underhanded play where you just deliberately don't do very well in a minigame, just to make sure that someone doesn't get a star. I miss that. I really do miss that. You can still do it. To a degree. But the idea that sort of everyone's working together, you've got allies and things like that, in that particular direction, to me, it almost seems forced. Like, for the most part, in most people's minds, there was a very good quote on the matter that Super Smash Bros. Is how you create friendships, Mario Party is how you destroy them. And I kind of like that. If you're not screaming at each other, it's not Mario Party, in a sense. But Super does represent a good direction for the series to take, and it's not exactly horrible. It still has some pretty solid and fun gameplay, with some nice options along the way, and it's a very good foundation if the series wants to continue in that direction. Add in those elements, but give me the ability to screw people over like the old days, and I'll be fine. I do miss the larger boards, though. I do sincerely miss the larger boards. Warrior's dead. So, in all honesty, there's a lot that can be improved on, but there's also a lot that Super gets right after a long... Yoshi hit him, thank you. There's also a lot that Super got right after a long time of hit and miss with the series. Because we get into the handhelds now. Mario Party Advance was sort of a collection of one-person minigames. Yoshi making a really bad effort there. It was... I don't know, it's almost like a precursor to WarioWare in a sense, just with less ridiculousness. Not gimmickiness, ridiculousness. The minigames were generally a bit longer, there was a bit more of a focus on the story mode, and you actually had a board game you could play with it, using the Game Boy Advance. I think DK's going to romp home in the end. So pretty much, Advance was kind of weird. You only had the 4 players of Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Yoshi. It was strange, but it was kind of fun in its own way, though it wasn't quite a true Mario Party. DK's warping out too. DS is the one I love the most of the handheld games. It's probably my favourite Mario Party game, all told. DS is like a comfortable pair of slippers in a sense. DS is not anything fancy. It doesn't really do a lot that changes the momentum of the series. But it knows what it wants to do, and it does it well enough. It's enjoyable. It has some really nice boards, it has a pretty decent soundtrack, there's a good range of little mini-games along the way, and the mini-game modes and the puzzle games are excellent. It's very much Mario Party as it was at the time, but handheld. So it really was just a portable experience, but the charm and the character and the interesting elements that went into it, all those little board elements had backgrounds to them. The way they worked the collectibles in with the broader story of the game was clever. It's going for the dueling glove. He has not swung at the dueling glove again. What was that? It's done the same thing DK did. But yeah, the way everything was sort of worked into the broader story of the game, which was nice. Nothing special, as Mario Party stories tend to be, but the minigames were pretty good overall. The boss minigames were pretty neat. The Piranha Plant was fairly tough, but the rest of them probably weren't that hard. Hammer Bro was pretty simple. The battle with Kamek was really nice, riding the book down the hallway and basically having it like a little rail shooter. That was fun. The minigames overall were pretty creative, though it does lose points for just recycling the minigames for dual mode. But overall, it just felt like it's Mario Party. It's not doing anything different, it's not doing anything fancy, but it is being Mario Party, and it is doing that very well. Like, I've often described certain things as sort of like, you're buying X like you would fabric. Like, if you wanted, like, to go into a shop and to buy a yard of Mario Party, you'd buy Mario Party, you would get Mario Party DS. But you would know that when you buy that yard of Mario Party, it's quality. It's actually still very good quality in spite of the fact that it is not anything complicated. It's like a comparatively common material done in top of the line. Sorry, I keep doing that. I'm not sure exactly if I'm explaining it very clearly, but overall what I think is that if you do want a Mario Party experience that's uncomplicated, Mario Party DS is a very good one. Yoshi gets the win. Wario is still on 1! So, I adore DS for everything it does. It does those basics really well. It makes a memorable experience out of them. It's just a shame that it's all downhill from there, as far as I'm concerned. Maybe with a bit of a bounce at the end. No, buy item! Lamp! Lamp! Jeez Louise. You could buy a magic lamp. And it's actually the coin-based one. There you go. Mario the only one who doesn't get a star. So, basically... Oh, Wario gets the bank again. Wario knows how to find that money. But, like, for the handheld ones, after DS, we had Island Tour. Ugh. Easily one of my least favourite games, as well. For one of my stories, for one of the reasons I didn't like it, I will provide you with a quote from the novel Goldfinger. From the man himself. The titular character, that is. Mr. Bond, they have a saying in Chicago. One time is happenstance, the second is coincidence, and the third is enemy action. Oh, somebody actually survived. That quote describes what happened to me with Perilous Palace Path. If you've played Wii Party Wii Party, you should know that volcano board, where you go along a winding path and when you get to the end you have to roll a 6 to break down a door. The door retains the damage, so when you wind up getting it, so if somebody else gets to it and you haven't broken the door down all the way, they can snatch the victory from you. Pretty much every time I played that board, bar one, I would get close to the end point. The womp you had to knock down by rolling a 6. Let's see what chance time is. 20, DK giving 20 coins to himself again. What have we got? Yoshi's in it again. DK has it in for Yoshi. It's Wario. What's it gonna be? Oh no! DK continues the cold and unabated hatred he has for Yoshi by making Yoshi forfeit the star. That is brutal. DK has it in for Yoshi. Yoshi is in last place, struggling all the way, and DK just comes up and kicks him in the nuts with a steel-capped work boot. Callous savagery. Wario takes the lead though. So anyway, back to Perilous Palace Path. Every time I got near the end on that board, bar one time when I did actually fluke a victory, the AI always got the best items to give it to get as far as it could. It would make the charge. It would basically just rush towards the end with skilled item use and the maximum possible rolls. You still had your gold mushrooms that gave you 5 extra spaces. So you'd wind up having the AI just get smarter, rocket towards the end, beat me to the womp, or catch up to me after I've rolled a 1 or a 2, and never roll anything but a 6 to break the womp down and snatch the win. Now, first time this happened, it's one of those things. It's annoying, but it's one of those things. It's a luck-based game. Second time it happens, irksome. A little irksome, but still not that bad not that bad in the great scheme of things. 3 times. Now we've got a pattern. We have a pattern. The AI is deliberately fudging the results, and it happened all but 1 time. So I absolutely hated that, and the rest of the boards were either ridiculously short, or ridiculously gimmicky, or both. And in all fairness, with the minigame mode where you had to scale the tower and fight Bowser at the end while you fought bubble clones of you and the other players, Yoshi gets shot. That was kind of all for nothing, because after you wound up... the way you completed that, you finally got to the top, Bowser's like, congratulations, you made it here, and then he just kicks you off. Absolutely no sense of achievement. Everything you did was for nothing. I really hated all those ridiculous game modes, especially the... Oh, Wario drowns at the last! I hated the Bullet Bill one because that was ridiculously short. Like, with a few lucky dice rolls, you could wind up winning that. There was the Kamek one, the Rocket one, that was just really easy. You just shot forward, and that was kind of it. We're into the last 10 turns. It just sucked. It just felt like a collection of gimmicks. Yoshi finally gets another star, replacing the one DK screwed him out of after getting stitched up from so many losses. Most of them DK inflicted. That was harsh. So yeah, Island Tour really, really sucked. I really did not enjoy that. Then we had Star Rush. And Star Rush, please buy an item. Buy a magic lamp for the love of Arceus. Oh, it's Bowser. What's this going to be? Come on, Bowser Communism. Always hoping for Bowser Communism. Just because it's funny. It's not on there. Everyone loses coins. 30 coins apiece really doesn't affect the economy. Apart from the person who's struggling, which is always the way. There are so many things we have to do that wind up not making much of a dent in the mega rich, but the poor people always wind up suffering. Always the way. Typical punching down. But yeah, then there was Star Rush. Star Rush was alright. It was sort of like Partner Party in Super Mario Party. Partner Party was probably inspired by that particular mode. It's not bad. It's not my ideal Mario Party mode, but it wasn't entirely crap. It was an interesting new way to play. You could still hunt down stars, and it was a bit of fun. It was something different, which doesn't automatically make something bad. The fact it was something different was pretty enjoyable. I didn't play a lot of it, but it was pretty good, all things considered. So I don't really have a lot I can say about Star Rush, but as an ancestor to Partner Party, it's not bad. Problem is, I did find it annoying having to play as Toads. Mostly because I have it in for the Toads on account of the fact that they are some of the most useless characters in the Mario series. They're overused, but that's not their fault. That's the idiots in charge who decide that Paper Mario can't have any new characters and things like that. You've got to use existing species and they can't be enemies or whatever and blah blah blah, and just sticks you with a whole bunch of Toads. So I think King Ollie being annoyed with the fact that there are so many Toads in Paper Mario the Origami King is kind of a little bit of rebellion. When it comes to the overall developer work, I think Nintendo's developers have a lot of heart and soul. Their corporate practices absolutely suck, and I'm going to agree with anyone who says their corporate practices suck. But I do think their developers have a lot of soul in what they do. Mario gets nothing. So, there's all that sorted out. Star Rush was alright, but it could have been improved. It's not bad, it's just probably not what we're used to, but it's an interesting departure from the standard. I don't really remember a lot about it because it's been a long time since I played it. Then you have Mario Party the Top 100, which I admit I've never played, but just sort of looking at things. Like, here is an opportunity to do a great celebration of Mario Party's 20th anniversary. Fan-voted best minigames. Fan-voted best boards. Massive, basically boards from across the series. Interestingly, they ignored the handheld games as far as minigames went. They only went with the home console ones. So you have fan-voted boards and minigames from across the series to create a spectacular Mario Party experience across the franchise. We get another hidden block with coins in it. Yoshi's the only one who hasn't got one. Mario can feel a bit cheated not getting a star. Basically, you had a glorified minigame mode that didn't offer much content besides a glorified minigame mode, and questionable ideas. Like, okay, now, they say the top 100. Presumably the top 100 minigames. By whose standards? By whose standards were the games they chose judged to be the top 100? Because I would guarantee you, I would bet London to a brick that hardly anyone, I know there's probably somebody out there who likes it, but I would be willing to say that if you did do a poll of fans, I don't think anyone would have The Beat Goes On their list of top minigames. Anywhere. As a fan of the Runaway Guys, the only time, I can honestly say the only time The Beat Goes On was ever any fun was indeed the famous Bazza Bazza game. It is drawn out, it is boring, and if you are good enough to make it through to the end, nobody gets anything, so it's a gigantic waste of time. It's slow, it's irritating, it's just a pain in the backside, and it would not be anyone's choice, as far as I'm concerned anyway, there may be people who'll prove me wrong on this, it would not be anyone's choice for best minigame. There aren't really any boards either. It's, as I said, it's basically just a glorified minigame mode when it could have been so much more, and Mario being cold-blooded there, stealing the skeleton key, condemning Wario to wander around in circles again. So yeah, the top 100, as far as I'm concerned, is a misbegotten idea and a massive missed opportunity. It's like half a game. As far as I'm concerned anyway, it's really half a game, and there should have been a lot of boards from across the series. But that's just me, basically. That's just me being a bit of a grumpy old man. So, there's pretty much what I feel about the series. DS is always going to be my favourite, absolutely no doubting that, but 2 and 6 are really good. 7, if it weren't for Bowser Time, would be fantastic. Hands down. 8, I haven't played enough of to have a definitive opinion. Which is perhaps a little unfortunate because it does have its good points, but it was sort of shoehorned into being a Wii game, so you've got really finicky remote controls. The Wii was kind of picky like that anyway, really should have had the Motion Plus from the start. You've got to try and avoid, if you knock over 2, he's only knocked over 1, so there is actually an opportunity for these 2 dinguses, if they play intelligently, which they're not doing. Yoshi, go the other way, for heaven's sake, go the other way, making it easy, making it easy. Mario should not have missed. That was a gimme. Yoshi could not have made that any easier. And Mario somehow got the one that went through to the keeper. Seriously. Like, I think the series is in a pretty good place, all things considered. It is hardly horrible if Super is the blueprint for the future. There's a lot Super can build on. But it's not terrible by any means possible. It's maybe not necessarily super, but it's solid. It's a step in the right direction. It allows people to participate in teams and have a lot of fun and generally have an enjoyable experience. That's probably the big thing. That it is a more inclusive Mario Party, that if you're just a beginner, you don't want people backstabbing you. You don't want to have to deal with that guy who doesn't wind up telling you what the controls are. Because, admittedly, my brother and one of his friends wound up backstabbing another of their friends by telling them the wrong controls for moving the skateboard in Skateboard Scamper. They told him it was A rather than B. So, unfortunately, he wound up getting caught by the boost straight off the start. But, I mean, I like that backstabbing, but I think that after everything that has happened, all the messing around that wound up happening, oh, magic lamp, is he going for the magic lamp? He's going for the magic lamp at long last. Somebody went for it. Yoshi didn't even see if it was there. Cake Factory, we're going to have some shockers on this one. But yeah, after all the mucking around and seeing what sort of stupid ideas they can come up with that really don't do anything for Mario Party, Star Rush provided us with a pretty good step in the right direction. If I'm going to be honest, Star Rush had a good idea and I like Partner Party. I do like that particular game mode. But I really, really do think that a lot of that apart from DS, a lot of the handheld ones weren't that great. I mean, Star Rush being a step in the right direction is nice, it's a good idea, but it almost winds up being just a blueprint. Advance was fairly gimmicky, but it's probably solid in its own right. Island Tour was terrible. Top 100 probably should have done more. And, well, there was kind of a bit of a dud period for the whole franchise, but I think it is ultimately going in the right direction. And that perhaps that friendlier approach will hopefully encourage people to wind up getting involved in the game. To just have fun. Which I suppose is probably what you do want from a party. You want the ability for Mario Party to be maybe not quite as evil, but you can still play with a bit of strategy but have that luck factor, and balancing that has always been difficult. Here is the battle game. Will DK screw Yoshi over again? $50 coins! Is DK going to screw Yoshi over again? Who's going to win? I have no idea at the moment. I think it's DK. It's Yoshi! Yoshi finally gets revenge, and if Yoshi rolls high enough, can finally get another star. DK's attempts at brutality backfired, and there it is, just enough. And it's a battle game. Yoshi finally rolling in dough, but it's not enough to get him out of last place. Well, that's interesting at least. So, yeah, I do think Mario Party is going in a pretty good direction. I think things will be alright for the series. Nintendo probably did keep it a bit too samey, and I do appreciate having the boards changed around, but it's one of the unfortunate things that happens when you wind up making changes. You don't know if it's going to be hit or miss with those changes. You've got to balance out keeping the series as people recognise it, with the need to freshen things up. And when it works really well. Like, even though I don't like it, the general consensus is that Breath of the Wild is a fantastic step in the right direction for the Zelda series. And I would be willing to agree with that. I would be willing to say that refining everything with Breath of the Wild, nobody has stolen it. Yoshi has stolen something. That if they wound up refining things with Breath of the Wild, hopefully the sequel presents us with some really good ideas, because I think there's a lot of potential. As it is, I found Breath of the Wild a little annoying. I found a few problems with it, but I overall do think that it's a good way for the series to go. Oh, just ahead, DK. Yeah, I would honestly say that... Who gets the pity coin? Mario! Wario gets none. I would honestly say that, in all fairness, Breath of the Wild, if it keeps getting refined, is a great step in the right direction for the Zelda series. I like Mario Odyssey. I also think Bowser's Fury is a good step in the right direction too. I think that's got some really nice ideas. So, but at the same time, I've also got it in for Nintendo for saying, we don't know what to do with the F-Zero series. When, in all fairness, I think people just want another F-Zero game. It's going to be tough comparing any F-Zero game to GX. GX holds up even today. Maybe not entirely in the graphics department, but the fact that GX is such a solid game, Yoshi has committed suicide again. GX still looks beautiful. It runs so smoothly with 30 races on the track, all on screen at the same time, with no slowdown. That in itself is impressive. The vehicles actually look really damn good. The environments look amazing. Probably a little bit of work needed on the character models as technology develops, but that's just kind of natural. Wario decides to kill himself. In terms of graphics, it still holds up. And those technical elements hold up too. It delivers a wonderful high-speed experience. And in terms of its soundtrack especially, it holds up really well. It's an incredibly solid game all around, and any F-Zero game is going to have to face comparisons with GX, even if its story mode is significantly less bullshit than GX's was, because that was stupidly hard. DK looking for revenge. How many coins are at stake? I missed that. So yeah, but I really do think that another F-Zero game, make it straightforward, maybe refine the story mode. Most important thing, add in options. Because what makes Mario Kart so enjoyable is its accessibility. Anyone can play it. If you give the option to make things a bit easier in F-Zero, but you still wind up having the challenges that people want, you will make a fantastic game. Because GX is not necessarily about... F-Zero is not necessarily about gimmicks. It's high-speed racing. That's what we want. We want to be blasting through a volcano at 1500 miles an hour while awesome rock plays. Like the experience on GX's Firefield tracks. You're blasting through a twisting, turning course on a volcano, upside down, with lava falling around you in some places, and you have that awesome music playing. It's just a delight. The game can be tough, but the reason I prefer it over Mario Kart so much is that you earn your skill. When you get better at the game, you legitimately earned that, and the game will reward you for getting better. Generally so, anyway. Yoshi actually wins a battle game, gets a bit of swag, and Wario gets the pity coin. Sorry. Like, you know that you've earned things. When the game tests you, it puts you under pressure. But when you do well, you are rewarded. You learn the tracks, you learn the twists and turns, you learn when to attack your opponents. The right spot to make all your moves. When you master that, the game lets you feel amazing. Mario Kart, my experience with that has been, when I get good at the game, I get punished for it. That is my big problem with Mario Kart. And I can relate this from playing Mario Kart 7, which is, well, it's easier compared to Mario Kart Wii. Yeah, Mario Kart 7 compared to Mario Kart Wii. Mario Kart Wii was an abomination that pretty much embodied the term gang up on the human. The game hated you, and you would suffer because the game wanted you to. With 4 extra races, the item spam was phenomenal, and they were all targeting you. Yoshi getting close to the coin star here. That was the big problem with Mario Kart Wii, and with the Mario Kart 7, while it wasn't quite as bad, there were still problems. Like, it took a lot of work for me to get to 3 stars on the Star Cup 150cc because the game didn't want me to. You had to fulfill certain arbitrary criteria. You had to be in first for a certain period of time. You obviously had to win all the races, you had to collect 40 coins as well, and a whole lot of fiddly other little things. How much time did you spend off the track and things like that. Has DK lost another duel? Yes, he has. It's crumbling a bit. Basically, any way the game could screw me out of fulfilling those arbitrary criteria, it would. Like, I might be winning a race, there is absolutely no hope of anyone winding up catching me, but a shell just crashes into me, and I wind up losing coins, and that screws me out of victory. I would constantly get blasted down pits by blue shells or lightning bolts on the last lap, screwing me out of victory. Yoshi going all in. Is his greed going to backfire? This is a crucial duel because it's going to decide the coin star, I think. If Yoshi wins this, Mario's just shot into the lead. I think Mario's got this. No! No! Yoshi skyrockets into the coin star! What a turn of events! What a turn of events. It's not going to be enough to win. Unless the happening star comes into play. This is going to be interesting. Yoshi is the one with all the coins at long last, but no way to get to the star. Unless he gets... Oh, Sneak and Snore, this stinks. Unless Yoshi gets to the shop and gets a magic lamp, I don't think there's going to be much that can be done. But yeah, Mario Kart, basically, if the game decides that you are not winning, you do not win. Because it's all down to your skill in F-Zero. You don't have that problem. If you master the game, which is admittedly tough, then you earned that win and the game makes sure you know that you've earned it. You feel awesome. And that was a complete waste of everybody's time. F-Zero, basically, it's tough, but when you get good at the game, you earn those wins and you feel like a badass. Mario Kart, it's easy to pick up and play, but even if you're the best player in the multiplayer session, you can wind up losing so many races because the game doesn't like you. You wind up being the best player there, and you get shells up your rear for a week. You wind up with so many items up your backside. If you're a good player, you will wind up with so many items up your backside that you could turn a Star Destroyer in there. It punishes you. Damn it, I did it again. Like, you will often wind up being able to do a lot of it after hard work. You'll be great at the time trials when it actually leaves you alone, but the game will punish you so much in single player just for the fact that you are the human, that sometimes it just isn't worth it. Yoshi's been amazing in duels, but I don't think Yoshi can actually get any more stars, unless somehow there's a mini-game win. I think Yoshi's coming in last, but it's certainly a good financial comeback. Yoshi really needed to get to the shop. And another duel, please be... It's for 1 coin. The duel for all time is beginning. It's 1 coin. So, like, I know you'll get good at Mario Kart, and if you've got more skill, you will generally have an advantage. That is the way it goes, but the luck factor can still screw you over. I suppose that does make it even in a sense. That even if you're not as good, you can get by because luck went your way and you were able to drop items on people. But if you are actually... sorry, I've just sort of lost my train of thought. If you are the best player there and you wind up constantly losing because the game doesn't like you, that's kind of a kick in the nuts. It's incredibly frustrating to keep losing, even though you're the best player, just because the game decided it didn't like you. And if you get a blue shell when you're way back in the pack, it doesn't help you immediately. It helps whoever's in second. Like, okay, I'll admit that the original F-Zero, comparing the original F-Zero to the original Mario Kart, both games had rubber banding. That's kind of stock standard in any racing game. So there were obstacles in some cases. There was basically a case of you could wind up driving through these. The AI could drive through them, but you couldn't. It was a bit of an issue. With F-Zero, they were mostly really easy to avoid cars. They moved around very slowly, you could see them, and it was fairly easy to take care of them. Also, F-Zero had fairly crummy handling. But here's the thing. F-Zero probably had floaty handling because realistically you're driving a 400km/h anti-gravity rocket sled. You're going to be dicing with physics. In fact, it's a marvel GX handles so well, given the physics involved. Seriously, I think Wario's got this one. No, wait, Wario doesn't have enough coins. Basically, I think that I was prepared to give for F-Zero a little bit of a pass for the crappy handling because of the way physics worked. The same crappy handling appearing in Super Mario Kart was less forgivable because you're travelling at, 40 miles an hour? That was much less forgivable. There were so many obstacles on the track that... Oh, DK actually won. There were so many obstacles on the track that only hindered you. The AI could just drive right through everything. All those obstacles only hindered you. The AI had an infinite supply of items that could only affect you, or they only used against you, in exchange for not actually being able to pick up items from running over item panels. But they could use these at any time. It was the same case with Mario Kart 64. Of course, the AI always used them against you, which was a big issue. Because if you were one of the characters who had Mario or Luigi as your rival, they had infinite use of stars, so you were not getting rid of them. They would hunt you. So you had those special items going against you that the AI would only really use against you. All the obstacles counted against you. The way the coin system worked, in a similar deal to Mario Kart Super Circuit, only affected you. Super Circuit made the coin system only affect you, but also added in the fact that you could basically, you had to use the coins to get better rankings. So anytime the AI bumped you, or you were hit with an item, you lost coins. If you fell off the track, you lost coins. The AI did not have this problem. About the only thing in the human player's favour was that there was no blue shell. So really, Wario's actually going to be that battle game. Wario's actually going to be able to use that magic lamp now. So really, Super Mario Kart was so utterly skewed against the human player, it was kind of ridiculous. It's a wonder it took off because between the crappy handling, the tracks with absolutely no guardrails, the obstacles that only affected you, the items that were always used against you and only you, and the rubber banding AI, like F-Zero, the original F-Zero had its annoying elements, but Super Mario Kart was so biased against the human player that it was just flat out ridiculous. Mario Kart 64 was kind of the same. Like, Super has the crappy coin system. Super Circuit has the crappy coin system, and it still has the floaty handling, but so much more is polished. Like, it's kind of telling that the tracks from Super actually have all the hazards removed, and they are much, much fairer as a result. Come on, Bowser Communism! Last turn communism, come on, last turn communism, give it to us. Come on, communism. Ah, it's not on there again. Watch Yoshi lose more coins. It's Wario! Losing 10 coins, not too bad. Well, Yoshi has scuppered DK's plans because DK needs the minigame star and the happening star, and I think Mario's actually got the happening star. At least... Oh, wait a minute. Crap. Hold on just a tick. I need to actually stop things. Okay, historical revisionism time. We're seeing another duel going ahead. Things have to be a bit different. So I think I was basically in the middle of ranting about Mario Kart and its terrible handling and the bias it seems to have against human players. So this is playing out pretty much the same. That's kind of something. So yeah, Mario Kart's great advantage is its wide variety of multiplayer and the fact that it's so easily available. It's easy to pick up and play, and F-Zero isn't. F-Zero is much more skill-based, but basically I do think it's got better rewards. Okay, so that's playing out exactly as it originally did. That's something. History's sort of back on course here. I think DK rolled a different number. I don't think he got that far. So history is obviously going to be slightly different. Okay, speaking of historical revisionism, we want some communism. We don't get communism. Why do I not get communism? Everybody loses coins. It could wind up getting to 50 coins for events like that at the end of long games of Mario Party 1. That was brutal. So Mario has absolutely nothing. Can't steal or anything. But then again, he couldn't steal anyway. Basically, well, I do acknowledge that Mario Kart does have... I think it kind of got a lot better. Oh, it does change the fate of the game. Because Wario can't... Without that battle game, Wario can't get that star. This is a big sliding doors moment. I did it again! I keep forgetting I've got to change my control back to me in the last turn because otherwise they'll skip the results. I've created more alternate timelines. But yeah, basically I've got so caught up in my ranting about how I tend to think that Mario Kart is heavily biased against the human player despite the fact it is a generally overall kind of a fun game. Like, it's fun, it's bright, it's cheerful, it's got some really creative elements. It does have pretty much a core gameplay that hasn't changed apart from a few gimmicks here and there. We're still going to get that duel though. History plays out with that duel. But I do think the fact that it seems so biased against the human player is incredibly annoying, and that I do feel it takes away from the overall experience to a degree. Mostly because I've never really been able to play a lot of multiplayer with people. I think DK has still won this one. Okay, so DK beating Yoshi in the duel for 50 coins is a fixed point in time. Good to know. Everything changes from here though. Right, I think this is what happened in the first timeline. Wario did wind up with a lot more money because we had a bigger battle game though. It's grab bag again. So once this turn finishes, change back to Yoshi. If Wario wins this, Wario can get that star. Wario getting that star changes a lot. This is pretty terrible in all fairness. A lot of walking around. How long is this gonna last? They're walking. They're walking. I'm walking here. Everybody's just sort of pushing around. This is really terrible. The most exciting game of Mario Party. The most exciting minigame you've ever seen. A bunch of people walking in a corner. And who won? Mario won that shambles by virtue of having the gold mushroom. Mario got robbed and he still won. Well, okay, now, pause button. Control settings. I do have to be in control of Yoshi for the final minigame. There we are set, we can proceed. Mario can actually steal. Mario is going to steal from me. Mario is actually warping away, so he's not going to steal. It's another duel. So, yeah, basically But the funny thing is that I do actually like quite a few Mario Kart games, even though I hate a lot of elements of the series overall. Like, if you take away that tendency for the game to screw you over. Super is pretty good. It's mostly the crappy handling and the coin system that I hate. Because it actually gives the player one of the most powerful elements they've ever had in the entire series. And that's the ability to create the booby trap red shells, dropping them behind you and having them hit your enemies. That was so overpowered that of course they removed it because they couldn't have the human player having an advantage. It had beautiful locations, it had a great soundtrack, it just had a lot of creativity and interesting tracks. It was overall just a very fun game, despite the fact Double Dash still had crappy handling. And it was sort of where the item spam really started. Double Dash was still one of the most creative and entertaining and chaotic games out there, and I legitimately believe its mechanics should make a return because that was a lot of fun. It was very, very engaging and entertaining. I am absolutely terrible at button mashing, and I do legitimately believe that as far as button mashing goes, the Wii U's controller is actually really, really poor. Yeah. I just feel, I am terrible at button mashing, but I do feel like the Wii U's controller is a bit shoddy when it comes to registering button mashing. It just doesn't quite feel as fast. Like, I do fairly crap, but I've noticed that I've done even crappier than I did on the DS with some of the button mashing minigames there. But we'll see what happens. Poor old Yoshi who got screwed over the entire game. Still winds up with a fair fortune. DK and Mario! They actually tied! That last minigame. That's Yoshi, definitely. Yoshi might not... It's Yoshi! What does this mean? What does that twist, the happening star, actually mean? That could change a lot. I think Mario still won because Mario had 4 stars at the end of it. Mario has won. Holy crap, if I won that last minigame, my shoddy button mashing skills actually might have given Mario the win. It's Mario! My shoddy button mashing skills, if I won that last minigame, I think Yoshi would have won. So I'm actually kind of glad I lost because then it would have been just a moment of slight unfair advantage. Because I had control in that last minigame. Talk about your sliding doors moments. What a finish. What a finish. Like, I was trying to win that, but it was not just... It doesn't... I don't think it responds very well anyway, but jeez Louise. So if I didn't win that... If I won that minigame, then Yoshi, I think, won overall. Unbelievable. Maybe that's punishment for ranting about Mario Kart, but I still think F-Zero is better. Even if I do acknowledge the skill, the creativity, and the entertainment factor in Mario Kart, and acknowledge that the relatively cheating-free DS is a fantastic game with so much great content. So let's take a look at those results. That last minigame, it was all that last mini game. If I won that last mini game, Yoshi won. Unbelievable. I tried not to have as much. Yeah, that last mini game. If I win that, Yoshi wins the whole thing. So I'm actually kind of pleased that I lost, because that element of control would kind of been cheating at the end. I'd kind of feel I'd cheated my way through. It's still a little annoying to have it come down to button mashing, because I suck at button mashing, but geez, that was something else. And you consider that there were at least 4 mini games where nobody won anything. Battle games don't count. Duel games don't count either, because Yoshi came back after being screwed over so much by the game. That is unbelievable. That is a twist and turn for the books. It all hinged on what that last minigame was. So, Yoshi got the least blue spaces. The most red spaces. Jeez. Absolutely blitzed it on the happening spaces. DK was close. 5 chance times, most of which screwed Yoshi over. Wario got 6 Bowser spaces, and there was only 1 communism. I'm sad. Jeez, 10 battle games. Item games. Yoshi didn't even land on the bank once. Yoshi got no hidden blocks. Didn't land on the bank. More red spaces than everyone else. Mario didn't land on any. Everyone else combined got 1 fewer than Yoshi. Screwed over in chance time. Stitched up by getting stolen from. And yet, it all came down to that last minigame as Yoshi rocketed back through the bonus stars. That was unbelievable. That finish was amazing. You can be proud of a fight like that. 50 turns of ridiculousness, and it comes down to a finish like that. Unbelievable. Absolutely phenomenal. What a way to wrap up the anniversary project. To set new paths with that. With a shambles for most of it. That just manages to still be something spectacular. Unbelievable. So, well, let's have this playing. I think I've got my plan for where I want to go. I feel this idea of sort of almost like I'm talking to you, sharing my thoughts. Putting that little bit of extra heart into it as you find out a little bit more about me, what I like, what I feel. That feeling that there's almost, hopefully it feels like a conversation, even if it's one-sided. Even if it is just me. Hopefully, that can wind up playing in my favour. That idea that you can come here for a bit of a chat, watch my videos, have a bit of a laugh. Know that I won't always be great. But that ultimately I'm having fun, and I need to remember to have fun with things. I'm gonna need to remember that when it comes to the Donkey Kong Country trilogy, because I don't have a lot of experience. Those levels are going to be hard because it's been so long since I played the Game Boy Advance versions, and I'm very rusty on a lot of things. I will pretty much do the same thing each time. We'll go through the levels, and then I will wind up just doing all the stuff I missed. I'll probably abuse the Switch's Virtual Console functions because I don't want to have to go through certain things again and spend absolutely ages going through all the levels to get some of the things. Like, if it comes to, say, the DK coin in Web Woods, I don't want to have to go through the levels again. That's going to be a bit frustrating, but I hope you'll forgive me because it's basically an acknowledgement that I'm not a great gamer and I'm using some time-saving tricks, but mostly I will be earning my way through the game and then we'll find everything else. I'll be doing that after Hard Gold finishes. I want to finish Hard Gold. I lost a lot, but I'll work out where I am and I'll get back into it. I'm going to be able to get all that done because, in all honesty, it's been a bit of a nightmare, but what I think I'm going to do is keep them in sort of hour-long sessions, as it were. Because otherwise it's going to take me a very long time. I'm going to do some hour-long sessions, sort of like I did with I've been doing with New Pokemon Snap. We'll have longer sessions where I can plan out more, I can show more, I can do more. Rather than just dividing it up into little episodes. It should go okay. It should go fairly smoothly. At least I hope it will anyway. I don't want to wind up losing anything more. It probably wasn't worth paying all the money just to recover my pokey little projects. And besides, I can do things a bit better. That much I really do hope to do anyway. I'm always learning. I'm still learning as I go. Hopefully I'll have a few more people around learning with me as I share all these interesting little stories. I hope it's been fun because I've opened up to a lot about Mario Party. As much as I complain about my crap luck, it's really not as bad as I think it is, and I do kind of love this series. It grew on me. We started out arguing and fighting, but we at least get along. I can give it that much. We've at least managed to get to a point where we really are getting along, and while we will have some bad moments, things go pretty well. Anyway, that's it for 2 years. I'm finally finding my feet. We're going to be pressing on ahead. It's been a bit of a chaotic week, so I'm sorry this is ultimately late, but better late than never, really. We get there eventually. As always, be good to one another and look after yourselves. It is more important than ever that we consider others, we work with others, we open our hearts to one another and gain an understanding. It's on us to understand others. They don't owe us explanations. It's on us to learn about them, to get to know them on our efforts and work to make this world a better place. I know you can do it. It's not easy, but we're going to do it. We are going to make it. We will succeed, and we will make this world better for everyone. Look after yourself as well, because they're tough times. No matter what, somebody's going to be going through a tough time. Be good to yourself, get help if you need it, because there's always somebody out there willing to help. We can't do all this alone, and we probably shouldn't. We really shouldn't. You'll get through with a little help from your friends, as a wise man once said. Anyway, for now, this is the end of the mission. We're wrapping up today, and I will see you as our next adventure continues. It will be Metroid Prime, which I'm really sorry we have to go through that when it was such a complete fiasco, and we'll get there though. We'll get through that. We'll get back to Heart Gold and brighter times, and then we will have the Donkey Kong Country Trilogy, where I try out a bit more. We'll polish a few things, and we'll make the most of this. So, until the next adventure, this has been Red 2, and it's been a pleasure hosting this for you. And remember... Wait, not that one. It's this one. And remember...
So I missed.
See you around.